Matt, congratulations on the tremendous performance. Have you just in the last couple days? What has your reflection on that game been like?
Thank you for having me on here. We haven't watched the film yet as a team, so we'll see that tells more than what I see during the game. But obviously been congratulated a ton, and from what I saw during the game, I was happy with my performance. I think I can get a ton better, so looking forward to how the rest of the year goes.
And I noticed that, and we were just talking with Coach Deacon about you running down and 11 has the ball. I think you just tweeted out.
Yeah.
But just what your I guess mindset is as being an athlete and someone who's been involved in making the tackle on those plays.
That's just the mindset here. I know a lot of places around the country, their specialists don't lift with the rest of the team. Their specialists don't run with the rest of the team. That's not how it is here. We do the exact same workouts, the exact same runs, and so I feel in that preparation, I like to go out there and show it on the field that we really are a group of 11 running downfield, not just me kicking the ball then watching it.
And you are obviously handling all three duties this year. Last year you started with that same job. Just what is your mindset in making sure that you can have all three for the entire year?
I love it. I love it because I feel more involved. If I had just kicked the last game, I would have been on the field 7 times. I think I was on the field 16 times or something like that. So I absolutely love being more involved in the game. It allows me to stay more warm. Sometimes as a place kicker, you can go a quarter, 2 quarters without even going onto the field. So it's tough to stay warm like that. But somewhat I have to manage my reps, take care of the body. But I'm confident I'll be able to and just keep progressing throughout the year.
Do you have a preference of the three, which you enjoy most?
I don't. They're all special in their different ways. Kickoff's fun. Field goal, you put up points. Punt's different. But no, all three of them are just different, and I appreciate them all.
Which one do you think you're best at?
Statistically, I believe I'm best with kickoff, but we'll see how a full season of punting goes. I'm looking forward to getting a full year of stats in versus last year, just the one game.
And you were quick to point out when all of the congratulations on social media, the game that Ryan Wintermeyer had and his ability as a true freshman to come in and snap 9 times and be able to do all of that. Could you just speak to his play and the bright lights the first game, and it wasn't too big for him?
He did a fantastic job. I was super proud of him and happy for him. I didn't play my true freshman year, and I know my redshirt freshman year I was beyond nervous. So to watch him go out there and compose himself so well, it was awesome. Like seeing him get downfield too. He did a great job.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. And next we'll go to Kirk.
Hey, Matt. I was wondering on that 77-yarder, like in high school, have you ever had a punt go that far?
I had a couple. The one, I couldn't tell you exactly how far, but I believe my senior year at Ramona, something like that, where it went over the returner's head, then bounced a little bit.
So that was an elevation for San Diego, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm kidding. But you don't remember how long that one was, though?
I don't. I'm sure it was over 70. That one rolled quite a bit further.
And I mean, you get a lot of not hang time. I mean, your ball really carries. When you're punting, are you looking more for that or looking for a certain roll, or does it just depend on the situation?
The roll is more or less luck. Sometimes it can go against you, and when the ball comes down, it'll either kick up or it'll kick backwards. But this game, they all seem to be going forward, which I love because that puts pressure on the returner that he has to catch the ball, even in situations where it might not be smart for him to. But as long as those balls kept bouncing forward, I wasn't going to change anything.
I'm sure you're very proud to have a good kicking average for the punt, but there are going to be situations where you kind of have to put one in there. Do you take a lot of pride in that too, being able to put one inside the 5 or the 10?
Absolutely, yeah. It's for all 3 phases. I had learned through my first couple games I had to adjust small things. And so for punting on those Aussie style punts where the nose of the ball's down when you're trying to pin them inside the 20, inside the 10, in game with all that adrenaline, I'm hitting them 5 yards further, 10 yards further than I thought I would. So this week I'm going to be focusing on that in practice and dialing in those ranges.
Mm-hmm. And then I want to ask you about how do you kind of pace yourself through a game when you're doing all that punting to still make sure you have enough energy if you need to do a late game, possibly a game-winning field goal?
A lot of that is just staying in shape with the lifting and the running and making sure I'm still doing all that stuff. I'm focusing on trying to limit how many times I'm kicking into the net because that can really add up. If every drive, when we're on their side of the field, I'm hitting 5-10 punts into the net, then we get on our side of the field and it's field goals. That's just too much. So I've been trying to keep that to a minimum and stay warm in other ways.
I mean, you guys are so young and conditioned. How much do you really feel doing all those punts in a game toward the end of the game, or is it like you're just out there playing?
I feel great physically. College football games can be long mentally to stay focused for that long, but physically I feel great.
And what's the difference between last year and this year? You started off also doing the punting, and then I think they had you focus more on the field goals. Why do you think you're better prepared this year to do everything?
A lot of work in the offseason. That was a big chip on my shoulder and a reason I worked harder this offseason than I ever have. And I'm excited to go out the rest of the year and show that work that I've made. I
mean, traditionally the kickers and punters probably get a little bit of ribbing from their teammates, but do you still get some of that, or do you feel like, like you said, you're doing everything else they're doing? Did they not really tease you as much about that kind of thing?
That's a big part of it. That's what our strength coach told me my freshman year, is that they have to see me doing the exact same workouts they're doing. It helps going out and playing basketball with the team. They figured out fast that I'm an athlete too, just like them. My specialty's in kicking a football.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kirk. We'll go to Andrew.
Hey, Matt. So this last game was the first game that you guys had at Dignity Health with fans. How much of a difference do you think that made on Saturday night?
I loved it. I did not like playing without fans. I didn't like the fake crowd noise at Dignity Health. That wasn't fun to me. What makes college football special is the fans. So I loved having that back.
And then my last question, I gotta ask. So I played at Ramona High School for 4 years. I've coached there for the last 5. I was in the building when you made that long punt that you were talking about in Ramona. But I gotta ask, RB has always had amazing kickers. What is it about RB that always turns out really good kickers? Even this year, we played them in week 2 and they had a really good kicker. Like what do they got there?
I'm not sure, to be honest. Maybe it's in the water. I know Coach McCoy did a good job at convincing me to go out there. I wasn't sure I was a soccer player growing up. Didn't know that I really wanted to play football. But he does a good job just making sure that he checks. I know he checks out the soccer games too, so I'm sure he's picking from those guys. But I'd put that on the coaching staff.
Right on. Thank you, Matt. Congratulations again on a great week.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. And we'll go to Paul.
Just a couple of follow-ups. Could you speak a little bit about the kickoff coverage? Not about yourself, but the other 10 guys and how great of a job that they did to get that net average the way it was. The
kickoff coverage or punt coverage?
Yes, I beg your pardon. The punt coverage.
The punt coverage. Oh, they did an awesome job. I mean, that makes when the ball flies so far, that makes their job a lot harder, right? Because the returner has the ball with room to run, and they were on him on that. Even the 70-yarders, the 60-yarders, they were right on him, which is awesome. I mean, a big part of the success of the unit was all on them. They were getting downfield really fast, and the protection was great. Never felt anything close to me. So no, overall we did a great job.
And then you mentioned being able to stay in shape and doing all of the work. Do they tailor what you do to help you to have that endurance and being able to build up, the muscles that you're using more versus maybe some of the other players? In
terms of the workouts, no, we all lift the same way here, but they are especially careful with specialists. If we start to develop an injury, they'll be quicker to move us to an alternate lift, something like that. I don't squat. I do a pit shark machine, which is somewhat of a belt squat. It's a little different. It takes the pressure off my back. So in that sense, they've adjusted it. But no, we lift with the team. My two partners this morning, one of them was a receiver and one of them safety.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. We'll go back to Kirk.
Matt, you mentioned a soccer background. So how and when did you come to football?
I started my freshman year of high school. My dad was a big part in convincing me to go out there, and my brother as well. My brother kicked for Steel Canyon. He was a fantastic kicker, so he brought me out there a couple times, even before high school, just to kick off the sticks, and didn't really develop a passion for it until actually playing in a game and all that stuff. So I would say mostly freshman year of high school.
And from the moment you kicked the first ball, did you have a big leg, or how did you develop that?
I developed my big leg. That's all thanks to my father, who would take me out to a field 4 or 5 days a week, and I would just hit ball after ball after ball, soccer ball, not football. And just years of that, I mean, since I was 4 years old, eventually you get good at it.
And so that even more so doing that, even than like weightlifting to build up your legs, or
More than that, yeah. I mean, there's plenty of guys out there that can lift a ton of weight. Doesn't mean they can kick a ball far. That once you have the technique to kick a ball far, then strength training is really important. But at first, it's developing the coordination and all that stuff.
I was wondering also, do you play any golf, and is there any correlation to the swing of the leg and the swing of the golf club?
I do golf. I actually worked at the Crosby's this summer, a little summer job. But there is correlation. A lot of the tips are similar if you translate it from golf to kicking. And if people ever ask me about my swing, the best analogy I have is to translate it to golf, because a lot more people golf than kick. So.
But are you a lot better at making a football go where you want than a golf ball?
I am a ton better, yeah. I'll tell you, I hit golf balls far too, though. I can smack a golf ball too.
What's your long drive?
My longest drive is 350 at the 18th hole of the Crosby's. You have to hit it about 310 to clear a little bridge, so most people lay up. But one day I was out there after work and I just went for it and I smoked it.
So did you get birdie or eagle there?
I parred it. My short game's not the greatest.